Every now and then I find a figure that I find interesting out there in the wild. This is one of those figures. So I thought I'd put it up and see what it looks like beside my other favorite figures. I'm not sure if he can play in this universe or if he's going to have to go up a scale or just be a giant monster. Let's find out how big he really is out of the package. This is Five Nights at Freddy's. Sorry, I don't know. I know it's a game. That's all I know. I have no clue what the game is supposed to be about. It looks very scary. It looks like Chuck E. Cheese in hell. Speaking of which, I see the video the other day where Chuck E. Cheese got arrested in Florida. Only in Florida. All right, I'm going to actually aim the camera down just a little bit. I have to do this very carefully with my old tripod here. This is called Grimm Foxy. Now, I could have sworn that it was a pirate Foxy. It's got a jack-o'-lantern beside of it, so I don't know if it's supposed to be some kind of Halloween theme. We got Dread Bear, Jack-O' Bunny, probably, Glitch Trap, and Grimm Foxy. Collect them all. 2021, Scott Cawthorn. Funko. It seems like Funko makes everything has to do with Five Nights at Freddy's. I keep thinking Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, I don't know if this is going to help to try to tear it out of the package carefully. I don't know if I want to keep the creepy art. It's not kind of my thing. I can already tell you right now, I have one similar to this. I'm not sure I did a review on it because it's not really my thing, and I always feel like I'm out of my wheelhouse and probably like, oh, you're a poser. No, I just kind of like some figures the way they look. All right, so coming straight out of the box, we know that we're going to have to take some of those little plastic ties from hell, just like this game is. It's like Chuck E. Cheese from hell. I need to start putting up a little thing every time I make a video. Not for children, for adults only. Bugger off, children. Because I don't know if this is, this is probably some children's property. Whatever a parent with their kids play with this, beyond me. But hey, it takes all kinds to make the world go around and upside down. All right, coming out of the package. Right off the bat, these joints are way too small in my opinion. They're mixel joints for something that should be a little bit bigger. More like the joints for the Build-A-Friends for the Teenage Mutant Turtles. Those are good joints. They're nicer and bigger and rounder. All right, so for everybody in the country outside of the United States, it's 13 centimeters tall, so about 14 centimeters to the top of the ear. In American terms, that's about 5 to 5.5 inches. We're about 5.25 inches to the top of his head, 5.5 inches to the top of his ear. I usually try to go to the top of the head because you can put it on ears or adornments all you want to. So that means he's probably, if you want to be frenemies or friends or enemies of the turtles, probably a good one for the perfect turtles. I think this is the 2012 turtles. I don't like this one as much, but right now I can't find my Leonardo. So Raph, well, that is my Leonardo, of course. I like these better, but you're not here to hear about the turtles. That would be on a Turtle Thursday. Five Nights at Freddy's, I guess, will be on a Friday. All right, so here he is with Raphael. So he could be in the scale with them pretty good. Not with Common Rider so much, or probably any of the other ones in the 118/4 inch, 3 3/4 inch scale. Because technically Micronauts are 1/1 scale, so, or Micro Man technically. Yeah, it's not, unless you have him as being some kind of monster. Like I could see him actually kind of with the Tron figure here. Tron got in a different video game and he is having a nightmare. Actually, that's Flynn, by the way. And of course, my favorite, the Action Masters Tread Shot. All right, so he doesn't really scale with any of those. The closest he really scales either in same scale would be Turtles. I guess you could put him with other ones. Like, I don't have a Star Trek figure up here, but maybe Star Trek. All right, so let's look at the articulation on this thing because I'm not sure where all the points are. I just took it out of the package, as you can tell. All right, his head appears to be on a ball joint, but I'm trying to see if you could pop it off if you're supposed to. Now, I thought the one I had, it was like you could pop and swap them, but I don't see that information on this package, and I don't see a little booklet in the tray. Clearly, the joints come off way too easily. The ball joints. Okay, we got ball articulation go up to here, and of course, it can go around 360 except for these little things hanging over. We got 90 degrees at the elbow, going back down, and of course it's a ball joint, so you can do all kinds of things with it. There's no wrist articulation where his non-wrist is. That's what I'm thinking. I have the Pirate Roxy, and he has a hook. So this one's more like a Grim Reaper. What's his name again? Roxy or Foxy? Foxy. Why do I keep saying Roxy? All right. I'm thinking you could turn this around somehow so that the hook will be actually facing down like it should. But I don't know. It doesn't really... I'm afraid I'm going to like break it because those little joints are tiny. If I can know without a shadow of a doubt I wouldn't break it, I would twist this around, but I'm pretty sure I would end up breaking it. All right, so his meat hook hand, not much you can do with that. His other hand can go around. It seems like it's on a ball joint, but it's not really much you can do with it. I thought maybe you could have a slap action, like up and down for sword wielding or whatever. All right, his chest, ironically, has no articulation. I don't understand why. That's a missed opportunity right there. That would have been a perfect articulation point. His legs are going down at a V, and there's a ball joint that can go out this far. I told you it's easy to make these things pop off. He can do a split about that much, which is not much. He can also split his legs off, evidently. So if you don't like things that are falling apart easily, I would avoid this, but he looks so interesting, I just couldn't. That's the reason I got him. Plus, I think he's like $4.99 if you look at the package on the beginning of this. So some of the things I like about him. Number one, he's robotic. Number two, he's translucent in some parts, but not just translucent. He's got paint going on the translucentness. So let's take a look at that head, because I don't like translucent figures that have no, like if he didn't have any of that lines all over him, he'd be boring as heck. So I like translucent figures that have like paint on them or something inside, like a time traveler or a Henshin cyborg or like Pulsar's chest. I mean, those things were all cool. So I do like that he's very creepy. I do like that at the same time, because he in my universe, he'll probably end up being a turtle enemy. Like the turtles accidentally fall into a theme park and the monsters, they come to life, that they were, left alone for so long, and they just kind of came alive and they became sentient. That's kind of the thing I'm thinking about going for here. All right, so he stands well on his own. There is another figure I have from Funko that's I wanted to review with this one. That's really cool. He is definitely a pop and swap guy. Purple, I think it was, and he had different face plates. So not bad. I saw a guy doing a YouTube video about things he found at his Ross, and he found a different character. I think he found the Jacko bunny, because he sent some out a bunny. He might have found... No, I know what he found. He found some kind of girl in a t-shirt. So it wasn't even part of this line, but it was part of the Five Nights at Freddy's. So some chicken girl in a t-shirt. So looked like she was working for, that wings place. I forgot what it's called. Never been to it. Hooters, that's it. She looks like she was wearing one of his shirts like from there. And I know, you're like, how would you know what that looks like? Hello, they put on those shirts everywhere. All right. So, pretty cool little figure. I kind of like him a lot. I do wish that the little joints weren't so small. Maybe I'll do a video comparing him to the other figures with those kind of joints or similar joints. But yeah, his joints, they just make them way too small in my personal opinion. Other than that, pretty cool little figure. Let me know in the comments what you think of this action figure.